responsibility of a parent is to provide a safe and secure environment for our children. As such, we are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that this planet and all it contains are properly managed. This single act, when done properly, promises a smooth transition of this accountability responsibility from us as parents to our children. It also guarantees that our children will have the opportunity to live a life that is much greater than the one we have lived, or at the very least, a promise to live a life that is equal to the one we have lived. Unfortunately and sadly, we have not properly nor have we effectively executed this responsibility as caretaker. Instead of giving you a world that is prepared for you, that is well controlled and effectively built, we are instead giving you a world that is broken, one that is mismanaged, one that is tribally separated, and one that's steeped in religious and political rhetoric. The appropriate question at this juncture is, how did we get to this point? We have foolishly allowed ourselves to become reliant on fossil fuel. As such, we have engaged in drilling in areas we are not supposed to be drilling in. The result is an increase in greenhouse gases, an increase in the Earth's temperature, an increase in rainfall, flooding, and the melting of the ice at the North and South Pole. One would think, as responsible adults, when confronted with this imperial data, we would do everything we can to curtail our behavior so as to stop the economic disaster we have begun. That's not what we did. We did the exact opposite. We first denied the information. We then questioned the integrity of the men and women who presented the information. We then engaged in misinformation so as to debunk the real information we were provided. It is not an accident that this has occurred. There are some among us who believe that if a piece of land is not being planted upon, not being built upon, or being drilled into, it is not being properly employed for the benefit of human activities. This misconception of what economic is has led our leaders to make poor decisions. These decisions has resulted in the largest income inequality we have ever seen in history. Government programs such as the toxic asset repurchasing program, quantitative easing, has resulted in the largest transfer of financial and economic wealth in the past 20 years, from 95% of the population to 5% of the population. It is no accident that as a new entrant into society, you are unaware of these occurrences. The education you were provided were surgically developed to ensure you were kept in the dark. It wasn't developed based on reason, it wasn't developed based on logic, nor was it developed out of a genuine desire to give you the information you need to exist in society. It was developed based on religious preferences, political preferences, an absolute denial of history in some cases, and the belief that all you need to know is this much to pass a college entry exam. This surgical watering down of your education system have left you inadequately prepared to deal with the challenges you are sure to face in society. At 18 years old, we tell you you are now ready to join society. A properly functioning society depends on pillars. We have systematically eroded these pillars over the years. As a result, when you first enter society, you have no point of reference, you have no anchor. You are left to figure things out on your own. You quickly realize what is right today is wrong tomorrow. Behaviors that were acceptable is no longer acceptable. There are multiple ways of describing one's sexual preferences. There are an infinite number of ways to describe one's relationship. This lack of an absolute certainty has degraded your confidence in society. This has led you to feel stuck, frustrated, a sense of failure, and a sense of depression. Never in recorded history has so many young adults been so dependent on therapy just to get through the day. I believe it's 1 in 3 young adults. Realizing that there is a problem here or there is a challenge, you are tempted to fix it. Then we tell you, you don't know what you're talking about. You are too young to understand what's happening here. You don't know how this works. This only compounds your frustration. In case you haven't noticed, the leaders who are in charge of our society today were born before, during, or after World War II. They're trying to lead a world that they are no longer a part of, and they have systematically denied you the opportunity to take control of your future. We then tell you that it is now your responsibility to undo all the mess many generations have done. At the same time, we have denied you the power of choice, we have denied you the power of leadership, and we have systematically reminded you that you are not capable of leading. These are most dishonorable things we have done to you. I make you this promise. If you will allow me, I will do everything I possibly can to ease the burden of this great sin that my generation and many who have come before you has placed upon your shoulders. That's it for this one. Until next time, be good.